You know what time it is. Steep your truth, sip your peace. Tuesday night, baby. It's tea with tea. Steam rising off the cup. It's confession time. We talk about the things that hide behind the rhyme. Broken hearts, tight jeans, politics and pain. But when she speaks that truth, we all feel the same. She say, don't pour halfway, baby. Tell me it all. Let it burn if it's real. Let the pride just fall. Her voice like velvet, but her questions cut deep. You come to spill your soul, not secrets to keep. So Tuesday night tea with tea, serving honesty. Two sugars, one dream. No shade, just steam. Set your spirit free. It's Tuesday with tea, with tea. She touching every subject they told us not to feel. Body, love, trauma, what's fake, what's real. Candle flickers low as the truth unfolds. We sip slow wisdom like it's liquid gold. I know it's touchy, but healing don't happen when we whisper. Tea. Tea too hot, let it cool. Don't run. We all got scars, baby, everyone. She stir the cup, say you're safe right here. We talk pain, faith, and the things we fear. So Tuesday night tea with tea. Say what you feel, no need to agree. It's grown folk talk, but the soul's still free. On Tuesday night tea with tea. So go ahead, spill what's steeping inside you. It's Tuesday night, and the truth's still warm.
Peace, peace, goddesses and gods. Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. When they say swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say, still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I am a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. 'Cause I am woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. That's me. Peace. So, tonight, I want to speak about beauty. Not the kind you sell in magazines, not the kind is in filters, trends, or measures. I'm talking about divine beauty. I'm talking about the kind that's existence and let there be you. But first, let me tell you about this tea. It's Damiana and lavender. Both good for aphrodisiacs and to kind of mellow you out. Okay? So, somewhere along the line, the world told us that beauty should look like somewhere along the line, someone told you that beauty should look like a 26-inch waist, an hourglass figure, and flawless skin. But that's not always the case. Yeah, that's not always the case, right? We find beauty in many women in many ways. How do you define beauty? Well, I do remember like 20 years ago, beauty standards were kind of different than they are now. So I remember the time where I probably was in elementary school and beauty wasn't so much about, full lips or big butt. That wasn't beauty. Beauty back then was more about being skinny, I guess. It was the look of, I don't know, say Madonna. I guess. I'm going to throw her on Cyndi Lauper, if you know that time, back in the 80s, right? It wasn't so much about having the smallest waist and having the widest hips or even having the biggest butt. It was more back then when you watch the videos. I mean, if you grew up around my time, it was more about having skinny lips, actually thinner lips, straight hair, okay, and oh yeah, absolutely not a big butt. Like I remember in the big butt video, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. And not either one of those girls. I mean, compared to the butts we see now, none of those girls had a big butt. And that's what we see now back in here in 2022, 23, 24, 25. So, measuring what beauty was and what beauty is today has changed. Truthfully, most of us, or a lot of us here watching me tonight, that beauty that I guess the Western world told us that we were supposed to have, man, we kicking that to the wayside. We're now rocking our natural hair. We're wearing our jewels. We kind of sporting our, our little belly, our fupa. We wearing our waist beads. We are rocking our full lips, okay? And beauty is not so much about what's on the outside, but what's on the inside. if we go back like to, let me see. Go back to like, yeah, what, 2000? Let me see. Pull up some information on that. Okay. So say back in 2000, right? Okay, so it was like the flat stomach, narrow hips that we talk about. That's Britney Spears. You guys know that. Long hair. I remember when I first started rocking my locks, it was, people thought it was unprofessional. I remember a woman telling me that my locks, she definitely wouldn't hire me because of my hair. And this is in the early 2000s, I'm sorry. I was in my early 20s, but we're not going to go there. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. Also, lighter skin. Let's get on that. Lighter skins was a thing. In the 2000s, lighter skins was a thing. So we talk like thin lips, straight hair, kind of narrow hips. But now we have all types of beauty, or what's considered to be beauty, right? So we got this thing called the slim thick, flat stomach, wide hips, and a large butt. That's what our beauty standards are right now. I guess they call it the Kim Kardashian look. That's what we're calling it. Or the Megan Thee Stallion. Or the Nicki Minaj, or the Cardi B, right? Those are what our young women look at today. And that is what they define as beauty. The straight hair, the European look, the straight hair. That is the beauty image of today. Now, they are rocking the full lips though, right? In fact, not only are they rocking the full lips right now, but people are actually getting fillers to fill their lips out. Now look, I grew up in the 80s, okay? And in the 80s, I remember trying to be as skinny as I could. I could not stand these lips. The idea of having these lips, greetings, the idea of having these lips and having thick thighs or any of that. Because what I saw on, the music videos, I can't remember what music videos channel, I think it was something video. I can't think of the channel right. Someone could put it in the chat. Back in the 80s, what we watched as far as like the music videos, MTV maybe. And, that was our beauty. That was where the beauty lied. It was slim, thin lips, straight hair, clear skin, of course, right? Now we got the TikTok and the Instagram. A lot of those females you'll see on there are somewhat toned. It's now sexy or beautiful to be toned. And so we looking at these images, and then we look at the mirror, or we have our man looking at these images, and then we look in the mirror and we're like, damn, I don't look nothing like that. I don't fit that. Man, I remember this look. Let me play this for you guys. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. Y'all remember this. If you're a certain age, you remember this. You remember this. Because I remember this. I remember this. And I remember like, damn, I need to have this. Hold on. Y'all remember that, right? Okay, y'all remember that, right? Okay. So I remember, I think she had to have a waist of 26. It was 36, 26, 36. And I remember thinking to myself, like, dang, I definitely don't got no 36, 32, what is it? 32, 30, 26, 32, something like that. Beauty is in oneself. Yeah, it is. But we're going to get to that, right? Because, see, in the 80s and in the 90s and in the 2000s, what you're saying about beauty is in oneself, unless you were, really spiritual or religious, no one was rocking that. They were rocking what they saw on MTV and all those other video shows, and where you can watch these videos, and watching those videos, it kind of dictate what beauty standards were. That's what we were going by. So all that, oh, when your mama told you, baby, you're beautiful on the inside, we wasn't listening to that. We get to school, somebody was talking about you, especially when you got to a certain grade and you ain't start developing, or maybe you had a lot of acne on your face. So when your mom and dad told you, oh, baby, it's what counts on the inside, nobody wasn't listening to that. It sounded good, right? It sounded good, but then you had your peers that, that all of a sudden they started blooming and they started getting curves. Meanwhile, you can tell I must have some issues, right? Meanwhile, you skinny as a mug, you're like, damn, when your curves gonna come in? When you gonna start fitting in what you saw or what you thought beauty was? They are. They are programmed. And that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. They all are programmed. But none of us fall short of falling for that program at some point. Whether we were in school, whether we were college, at work. I mean, how many times have you felt as a woman? I mean, let's just keep it real. That, the woman that was, maybe a little bit more curvier than you, or maybe she met the ideal face for what a Western society said was beautiful. Maybe she got more privileges at work, or even at school. How many have felt that way? That these things were happening? Oh, because she was considered to be beautiful. Not that she had the best grades or she was the smartest, but because by Western society, she was beautiful. So she got treated differently. How many of you can say yourself, was treated a certain way and you recognized it because of your looks? There were a lot of that going on in the 80s and the 90s, even in the 2000s. And still today, people are judged a lot by what they look like, what is to be perceived as beauty. Even jobs today. Now, a lot of jobs in, maybe like in retail, you'll find, like, for instance, Walmart. They're allowing their employees to wear certain clothes. They can express themselves through their clothes as long as they wear a vest. Even the idea of tattoos, they're allowing these certain things to go on. Whereas, years ago, that wasn't acceptable. Tattoos, all those things wasn't considered a beauty. And it was also not considered professional. Some can deny it, but my experience, I've been in jobs where women were chosen from what they look like, not from their experience. And this is not taking no shade on a woman that deserved to get that job, but I've seen women get passed over because a woman looked better than her in her uniform. She was healthier looking, or she fit that uniform better than someone else. Not that her resume was better, but her look. She was perceived to be beautiful. So she got the job. And that's what goes on in society. We can't deny it. When I see a woman today, honestly, I mean, let's just keep it real. When I see a woman today and I see her with, wearing certain things or trying to enhance her beauty, what she perceived to be what the standard is for beauty. Now, years ago, and I don't have it today, but years ago, they did a study on what beauty was. Like, what was the perception of beauty, right? They had a standard. And this perception, of course, the face had to be equal. But also, it was more like young eyes, children eyes, big eyes, right? Thick, full lashes. What do you see our women wearing today? To accent their face, right? And this is no shade, but it's real. Women are getting fillers. Why? To fill this up. They're putting stuff in their face, silicone, to make their face look fuller, because it gives the idea of beauty. Women are getting butts, breasts, because they feel like they'll get higher in their life by getting these things, and they're dying from some of these surgeries to meet the beauty standard of today. It's not acceptable today to walk around with this, having a little pudge here, like having this fupa. That's not good. You can't have this. You know what I'm saying? That's not beauty. Or to rock your hair. Now, don't get me wrong. Things are changing. Things are changing. Our eyes are opening. Our people's eyes are opening. Because beauty is changing. But there are still, you can look at, I work in, I work where there is a Walmart. And you can throw shade on Walmart, but it's all types of people that shop at Walmart. And it has to be, because Walmart is one of the greatest stores. They're the competition of Amazon. Okay, so you can say what you want to say and say a certain type of people that shop at Walmart. Yeah, they may not go into it, but I'm sure they're on the Walmart.com. A lot of people shop at Walmart. All types of people. So I get a chance to see all types and all types of ages of shopping at Walmart. And what I see is the Kardashian booty. Okay. Hair, eyelashes. I still see it. And not just so much I see it in people in my season, but I see it more in the youth, which is, to me, even sadder. Because they're looking at television and they're comparing themselves to a beauty standard. They're not so much, and it's not saying they don't got nothing up here, but what I'm saying is that they are doing certain things to themselves to enhance their beauty from what they see on the television screen. They're idolizing these women, not for what they have done, for their families or for their country or for the community, but they're idolizing them for what they look like. So we can say it's not a thing, and or whatever the case is, and it's changing. But let's keep it real. Or some of them are idolizing what they see their mothers do. Keep it real there too. When I was younger, let me take that back. Early on in years, I'll say that. Early on in years, I can remember experiencing some of that. I can remember wanting to perceive what I thought was beautiful. Like I said, and when I, in the 80s and 90s, when they were out rocking the slim look, I went running every day. I had to make sure I stayed slim. I used to, have I remember saying this before. I wanted my hair straight. I didn't want no curls. Like my dad I was waiting for them curls to drop. When I got my hair straightened, I was waiting for them curls to drop. I couldn't wait. Like, yes, the hair straight. until I suck my nose in, make a little pointy, because that's what I saw. And then when I got into my early 20s, things were changing at this time. And I wanted to be a little thicker, I was really slim. So I ate unhealthy foods, trying to make myself thicker than what I really was. And it lasted for a month, and I lose again. Have to go back to that cycle again, eating unhealthy foods, not exercising, worrying about if I exercise, I would lose the weight because I was just too small. So I ate, and I literally would eat sausages with rolls and go to sleep. Because I'm like, if I go to sleep, I'm not using that much energy. I'm going to hold this weight on. I was probably about 105, something like that, 110. I'm like, I got to gain some weight. Like, this is not the look. But this is what my body was comfortable in that time. But here I am eating rolls of sausage and biscuits with jelly and butter, just so that I can gain a weight, because what I thought the man would like, what I saw on the television screen. So now I got to get bigger. I got to, my butt got to get bigger. I could never do anything with this. I just had to accept that, I was always going to be a part of that committee. Yeah. Yeah. He said, I hated my light skin complexion because my mother is dark, and I disliked this treatment due to colorism. And so, yeah. So I did have this discussion the other day with a coworker. And unless you experienced it, you didn't experience it. Us of a lighter complexion, I'll say us, but because I wasn't considered as dark, especially when I was younger. People of a lighter complexion, a lot of times did not notice how others were being treated. They were considered to be what? Beautiful. You're beautiful to be dark skinned. Ever heard that one? You never heard anyone say, you're beautiful to be light skinned. But you would hear, you're beautiful to be dark skinned. Oh, you got a cute face to be fat. I know we all heard that, right? Absolutely. Someone said eyelashes are out of control. Yeah. I've had someone tell me that their eyelashes, like I thought they were tired, but they wasn't. But the eyelashes were so heavy that it was making their eyes droop. Again, we can say that it doesn't affect us. We don't care. But we see the models. We see the different people. We see how they dress. We see the reaction our men may give. We see the reaction that some of the women give them. We see all the thousands of likes that these women get the big butt. Yeah, we can say, oh, I don't, that's fake. But they got like 3.2 thousand likes on that video. Now, we don't know nothing about that person. That person can be a lawyer. That person can be a doctor. We don't know. And at that time, no one cares. They just see a big ass booty, excuse my language, on screen. That's why she got that 3.2 thousand likes. If you didn't have long hair growing up, during my time frame, if you didn't have long hair, you lost some points on beauty. You had to have long hair, at least fair to light skin, okay? And you had to be slim. Now, once all that changed and everybody, because I remember my grandma telling me, girl, ain't no man gonna want you. They ain't gonna want you. Girl, you ain't got no meat on your bones. I'm a child. I'm like, damn, I'm never gonna get married. Ain't no man gonna want me. I'm too skinny. So I took measures to make myself bigger, eating unhealthier foods, feeling bad about myself. I went from running every day to be skinny because I wanted to look like the young models I saw on television, to now overeating to make myself bigger. To what? To meet a standard that I was never really going to meet. I was never going to look like them. My body wasn't built like that. People are putting on these, they're wrapping themselves up to mesh their body together, their organs together, just to get an hourglass frame. That, yeah, it'll last for a while, and it may stay for a while, but you're pushing your organs together, up or down. And then they're going to start mending together inside your body, just so they can look a certain way. Because that's what they see as beauty. Going to different countries for surgeries for cheaper, just to get something that they feel that's going to bring up their confidence in themselves. I thank Source, I never thought about going that far. I never thought about getting larger breasts. So everybody in my family, all my sisters, are larger here than I am. Every one of them. But I never thought about getting it. I just accepted the fact I just won't have it. Okay? Now, I think what helped me is because I have something in the back. But I still went through that. I went through like, dang it. I ain't got none of this. I'm just working with something back here. Because, yeah, that hourglass consists of having both. How many times have you seen a woman, just any woman, you know what I'm saying, with I'm gonna call it what, the Kim Kardashian, is that what they're calling it, shape? This is how they moved up. You think that don't affect us women who don't have that? Again, we can say, yeah, it's programmed. It is a program. But it's not just a program. It's a program that started with some of my parents. Like I just said, my grandmother told me, yeah, you hated your nose. Yeah, you hate. Yeah, me too. I hated my nose too together. Absolutely hated my nose. My grandmother told me a man would not want me. I was too skinny. I ain't gonna never want you. You ain't got no meat on your bones. So whatever was put on her, she put that same shit on me. Now, I'm sure she thought she was helping me by telling me that BS. I'm sure my grandmother thought she was really helping me by telling me that. But she was hurting me in ways she probably don't even know. I grew up with the idea that at one point I'm too skinny. Do you know how it is to grow up? And I'm sure some of you guys, some women here can relate, to never be comfortable in your own skin for years. Either you too small, or you're just too damn big, or you're not big enough. You're just never comfortable in your skin. You see this on television, this is what they say beauty is. And I'm not going to go on, this is what men want. Because I've learned over the years, and maybe I didn't know then, men like them all, okay? You can look like sponge, square, your body can be shaped like a sponge, SquarePants. They'll love you too, okay? Just keep them real. They will love you too. If they love you, they love you, okay? So, yeah. And plus you have a vagina, okay? I'm just going to keep it real. But you grow up thinking that, you wouldn't have this, or someone wouldn't want you, or you wouldn't be accepted in society. Not only were you've been looked at because maybe your color was not, that acceptable, but now you're not shaped. That's women. So I went through years of my life just like, I'm either not big enough, too big. Because I went through that too. Being too big, unhealthy eating, trying to get to a size that I thought I would be happy with, that I will feel comfortable in my own skin. So I ate unhealthy. I was someone that loved to be athletic. I loved to run. I was a part of track. I was a cheerleader. These are things I enjoyed in my life, but I stopped doing these things because I thought that if I continued to do these things, that I would never keep the weight on. Then it got to a point where I was too big. So now I'm looking at myself like, damn, I'm fat as hell. I remember looking in the mirror one day, looking at a woman and looking through the glass. I think I was in the store. And I thought to myself, being judgmental, okay, keeping it real, like, damn, she's pretty big. That big back woman was me. It was me. Can you imagine looking in a mirror or looking at a camera and seeing someone that you judging and you judging yourself? Crazy, right? I went through so many different stages. So many different stages trying to accept who I was. Just trying to, and it wasn't so much fitting in. I'm not going to say fit in, but what I will say is that trying to find love in myself. I'll say that. Because I was, from watching certain things and from what others experiencing, from other like adults telling me, I wasn't capable of being loved because I didn't have the look of a small waist and big butt or being narrow shaped thighs. I remember my thighs started getting big and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not acceptable. No one's gonna love me. Hell, I wasn't loving myself. How could I? I was told that my look, my full lips, my thick, coarse hair, my brown skin wasn't acceptable. That was not beauty. That was ugly. My gap, not acceptable. Not pearly white straight teeth. I had a gap. To put all odds against me, now I got a gap. Now this is what I'm thinking. Like, damn. Then I got the famous Harris forehead. So here I am, a teenager. I don't know whether I should be small, whether I should be, skinny, thick, tall. I'm confused. And now I'm in my 20s. Times are changing now. We want curves, a little bit more curves. So I'm starting to feel myself at this time. I'm starting to kind of feel myself a little bit. But I'm not accepting of my hair. Now, I did go through phases where growing up, my mom, she didn't put relaxers in our hair. Okay. She didn't put relaxers. I think one time she tried, but for the most part, we didn't really have relaxers in our hair. So we went, with our hair. My dad did take us at times to get our hair straightened. And we didn't even go back to that. That was horrible to think that my hair just had to be straight. Now I despise it. I'm going to keep it real. The idea of my hair being straight and I'm losing my curls is, I love it now. But getting back to then, I didn't love it. It wasn't pretty, okay? Pretty was either having a wave in your hair or no waves at all. That was pretty. That's what we would consider to be pretty. Not just me. Okay, so together says the Army standards mean that I would never be good enough because the standard, was everything I was not. Yes. Never gonna fit in. Never was gonna fit in, but I tried. I tried, right? We all was trying out here, trying to fit in, meet that standard. A standard that we was not gonna meet. Unless you got the Botox, unless you got the hip, I remember they talking about Janet Jackson got a rib removed just so her waist can be smaller. Now I don't know if that's true. I ain't here trying to spread no spread no gossip. I don't know how true that is, but just to make her waist smaller. And you think if that's true, she did that because what? Why would we think she would do that if she did do it? Yeah, make believe. So that's a lot of what we consider to be beauty. And even to this day, a brown skin, soft curled hair, tight waist, big booty, big breast is what we perceive as beauty. That's our perception of beauty. That's our perception. Not that. That's no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. She'll get made fun of. They laugh. They don't know what's going on with her face. I don't know. Okay. Beauty, right? Not back then. That wasn't beauty. None of that. None of that. That wasn't beauty. Okay. Get off my little rant about that. All right, so the rise of beauty rooted in spirituality. Okay. So yeah, we're rocking our natural hair now, afros, locks, different things like that. We're wearing our waist beads. Now, I'm not gonna get into what waist beads are really actually for. I just will say that I don't think we're supposed to be wearing them outside our clothes, lady. I could be wrong. If we're supposed to be wearing them outside our clothes, then I could be wrong. But I think the idea was to kind of just wear them inside. But hey, okay. We rocking our tattoos, okay? Because tattoos do tell a story. We can say what we want, whatever, hate on it. It's a part of art, okay? Nose rings. We wearing our jewelry. Multiple piercings in our ears. Okay, we're doing all these things now. We are redefining what beauty is on the outside. I didn't even get to the inside. Because again, no one was really rocking on this spiritual thing about, oh, well, what our mama and daddy was telling us, or what our teacher was telling us about being on the inside. Nobody was really rocking that back then. Nobody cared about that. You tell me that 1,000 times back in the day. I'm like, girl, please. We had to look ourselves in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you. I love you with your curly, coarse hair, or what they call coarse hair. I love you with your full lips and your gap. I love you. I love the idea that you carried 4 kings, 1 queen in your womb. Those marks are from that. I love that. I love you. You fed 4 kings, 1 queen. You nursed them. You made them feel warm. You had to start looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. I love this gap. My ancestors had this gap. When I look in the mirror, I see them. My lips, my ancestors. I see them when I look in the mirror. Now what society told me I'm supposed to look like, no, not at all. I am the creator of my own image. Do you understand that? Do you understand what that means? It's not what the outsider telling you what love is supposed to be. The love for yourself, the beauty for yourself. No, it's within. It's within you. Now what some video of some woman, and I'm not taking it from her. She can shake her ass all she wants. It's hers, right? Whether she paid for it or it came naturally. But it's hers. But you had to start accepting and loving who you were. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're, if there's some things about you that you know to be unhealthy, okay? Then yes, you love yourself, but you work on it. And that working is loving yourself more. That's a part of loving yourself more. Saying, yes, okay, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm loving myself now still at this moment. And I'm going to express that love even more by making sure that I take care of myself even more now. Whether that be with healthy foods, which it should be, and movements. Okay? We're going to read something. Okay. Let me read something to you guys right now. All right. Oh, yeah. By the way, that poem that I read earlier, that's Maya Angelou. I love her. I love her. I was reading something and something hit home to me, and I got to tell you that, like, this saying right here meant so much to me when I saw it. And it says, I am the beauty. I don't create it. And I want you to repeat that to yourself. I am the beauty. I don't create it. I don't have to create it. Which means you don't have to go outside of other sources to create something that you already are. You are the beauty, and that beauty starts within. So this is when we go into the spiritual side of it, okay? What is beauty for real? I know in religion, they speak of beauty from within, right? The woman as being beautiful, not so much on the outside, but on the inside, what your grandma and your mama was talking about. That's where you're going to find that beauty. But we didn't understand that. But they had something with that. We dusted off like, please. But they knew what they were talking about. We just couldn't see it. We were blinded by the videos and the vixen women, women that are on these videos. We were blinded by that. But they were on to something, right? They were really on to something. So it says in 2025, there's a growing understanding that beauty carries vibration. Do you get that? I'm going to repeat that. Beauty carries vibration. What does that mean? Spiritual women radiate confidence and peace. We know everything. There's no such thing as something still. It's movement and everything. Women radiate confidence and peace. It may not define what we consider to be what the Western look is. Radiate. It is coming from within. From within, with our confidence and knowing who we are, right? Knowing that we are empresses and gods and goddesses, queens. We start to radiate this from within. And this beauty starts to show without. So whether we got a waist that's 26 or a waist that's 36, we walk with that beauty. It just starts to spill out of us, and people can't help but to watch us, right? Because we begin to know who we are from the inside. So, growing up, I have a sister. I call her sister because she's not my biological sister. But I remember times when by the way, on the outside, very beautiful. Very beautiful. She would meet that standard of what the Western would call beauty. But as soon as she began to talk, and she talked more than 5 minutes, if you were anything, you would know all that beauty you saw wiped away. Wiped away. So somebody saw her walking past, you're like, oh wow, she's beautiful. And then she would begin to speak. And she was so negative that all that beauty that she displayed on the outside was gone. So that That beauty from within, I am the beauty. I don't have to create it. I don't have to wear certain things, straighten my hair, make my lashes thicker. I don't have to put Botox in my lips or wear a corset or waist trainer to have a slimmer waist. Or inject that stuff in your butt. Just so that you can feel beautiful. It has to start from within. You have to learn to love yourself for who you are. And there are exercises and things you can do to kind of uplift and make things look a little better, Stronger arms, make a waist look slimmer, But never get into that idea that you need to fit those models. Because you're going to disappoint yourself every time. Every time. So, as time go on, we notice that darker skin is now celebrated. It's a part of who we are. Darker skin is now grounding and power, because that means you are getting source. Source is kissing you, kissed by the sun. That energy, that melanin. So now it's looked upon as power, okay? Oh, it's a thing now to rock your hair to the point where people are actually getting false locks. Now that's a trend. That's so funny, right? No shade. I'm just saying. Now people are now rocking the false locks. When before your hair was dirty, it was stinky, you never washed it. A few people forgot to wash their damn hair with their locks. Damn. And a whole society of people wear locks. This was funky now. Right? You ran into somebody that didn't wash their hair or didn't know how to wash their hair, right? So now the whole society of people that wear locks. Or Rastafaris, right? Rastafaris. I don't know, So you're a Rastafarian now, right? Because your hair's locked. And then that was a stereotype. People judge that. Fuller figures, ladies. Now, with our spirituality, fuller figures means what? Fertility. Yes. Ooh. She can hold her baby. She can hold her nice size baby with them hips. That's the thing now. She must know how to cook. Look at them hips. What they call them? Childbearing hips. Now, the hips are defined femininity. That's what they are now. That's so funny. I'm just laughing though, for real. I'm laughing because even though the idea of having wide hips are now accepted, it's still it's still a program. Because everybody not gonna have wide hips. Does that mean that you can't carry a child? I don't know. Because I'm gonna keep it real. I got wide hips. Maybe not the widest, but I have C-sections. So I don't know if that kind of went out the door. I don't know. But it's still a program. The idea of all of that is still what's considered to be beauty minutes. What is beauty? Is beauty just defined of what I look like? People go through so much measure to make themselves look a certain way. What about character? What about your morals? What about caring and loving for others? Sacrificing for others. Is that not beauty? Or is it just based on my ass being fat? You know, people, I've had women come to me and say they didn't like me based on what they saw of me. I thought it was cute. They didn't like me. I ain't saying nothing yet. You know, some people might say it's the energy, but it was their energy, not mine. What is real beauty? Because even if you go by what we go by now, because it's acceptable now. See, it wasn't acceptable back then. So now it's acceptable. It's like, oh yeah, real beauty is showing up. But is that really still beauty? Or is it the beauty starts from within? Who you are. I just spoke about someone who showed so much beauty on the outside, but when she spoke, people walked away. Because at the end of the day, that's where it lies, in the inside. It's loving and being there for your friend and your family and your loved ones. It's caring for a stranger when you don't have to. It's empathizing. It's sympathizing. It's being there holding their hand for someone when they need it. That's beauty. It's accepting someone with no matter what they got going on, what they look like, and loving them for who they are. That's beauty, right? That's what really matters. Don't get me wrong, aesthetically, like to have a nice curve here and there, yeah. Because the eyes, we do have eyes. It does look good. But everybody's not gonna fit that same. Should that person be treated differently because she doesn't? Should she not be loved? Should she not have children? Because her butt is not big, or her breast is not big, or she don't have full lips. Or maybe she just don't grow long hair. Maybe she's really dark skinned. Should she not be valued by her other qualities versus the qualities of what you kind of see on the outside? Should she not have love? Should she not be valued? It's the woman with the bigger boobs and the poke out butt have more value than her? Ladies, women, I love my jewelry. I love my stones. And right now in this world, I'm going to call it what it is, because my husband has in Messiah Code, we speak about the red and we talk about the blue pill, right? And when we speak about is, you'll see people wearing this. They got all this in their ear. You know, they wearing all the chakra, they wearing all the stones, and they wearing the jewelry. And you're like, damn, they must be conscious. They're aware of who they are, and they don't know shit because it's a trend. All that at the end of the day, whether I'm rocking this, whatever, it's a trend. And now that's becoming a beauty standard. Now what we thought was true to ourselves and to our ancestors is now becoming a beauty standard. Everybody is wearing it now. Everybody is adorning themselves with this in order to meet a beauty standard, and yet they still trying to meet that body, right? They don't want to wait for the real locks. They're putting in the fox. Why? They don't want to go through the ugly stage. It is growth and wisdom and allowing your hair to lock and go through those stages. It's not about just locking your hair for a style or a trend. This is a teaching. This is teaching you. These are all lessons. My hair like this, it's a lesson. I went through things to get my hair like this. I learned something from this. But no, they don't want that. They want to put because the look up, they want to have the look of having their hair like this, right? Instead of going through what they need to go through to get their hair like this. Because of the what they so-called ugly stage. You know how that ugly stage will help you build your confidence in yourself? Because now you walking around with your hair what's considered to be not kept, not unkept, and it's woolly and it's not smooth. There ain't no parts. Your hair looking like is looking like unmanaged. But you gotta let it set, and you gotta let your hair lock. You gotta build some confidence in yourself and know that I'm not my hair. This is a stage. You have to build that confidence in yourself. How would you build that confidence? You go to straight putting foxes hair in your head. I just wanted to look. I don't like going through all that. You're losing what you're supposed to learn from this. This is not just about, I'm not locking my hair just so I can look like I'm conscious or look like I hug a tree. I hug trees. I ground. And that's so I can look like it. Because it's beauty now. That's the idea of what we consider to be beauty now. That's our trend. My hair came with all types of energy and things I needed to learn about myself when I started locking my hair. And that's so I can look beautiful. My beauty is within. I am confident within myself, not because my butt is big, whether it was big or it's not big. And how do we get this confidence that I speak about? Caring and loving for yourself. Doing things that is going to bring the care and love out of yourself. Caring and loving for others. Not masking it. Not masking it, but being true to yourself and loving yourself the way you want somebody to love you. Doing those things for yourself. If it's education, get more. If it's being healthier, eat healthier foods. Move. This is how you gain this confidence and love for yourself. And you'll begin to start to see the beauty in yourself. And once you start seeing that beauty in yourself, it starts to radiate outside of you. And others will see that beauty too. You won't need all those other extra things. And I'm not saying that you should never do it. It shouldn't be a thing. But if you need that to make you feel beautiful, then that's a problem. If you can't go outside the house without your lashes or your weave, I'm just going to keep it real, ladies. If you can't go out the house without that, then there's something deeper within you that you have to deal with. I'm just saying. I've been there. I can speak it. No, I never wore wigs. I did definitely wear the weaves. If you can't leave out the house without a face full of makeup, so to make yourself look beautiful, as we call it, representing, you got bigger problems. When I went to bed at night, I wanted my husband or my mate, what he went to sleep with, I wanted him to wake up to that. The energy, the look, all of it. All of it. I remember watching this movie, and I can't remember it, but Sanaa Lathan was in it. And I remember she would wake up 2-3 hours early to straighten her hair and make sure her makeup was beautiful before she got out the bed. So that then she would get back in the bed like she was asleep, in order so when her fiance would see her, he would see her that way. She never went without her makeup or her hair being a certain way to him. And then when she thought he was going to marry her, he pretty much told her she was shallow. He never knew who she was. Why would I marry her? She's too shallow. I don't know who you are. Never seen you without makeup. Don't know how you're on a bad day. Didn't know anything. So what is beauty? Can you have all those qualities in a woman? A nurturer, a lover, someone that's caring, caring for others. Can you have all these different qualities in yourself and not have the big button yet still feel love? Absolutely. But again, as I keep beating down the dead horse, it has to start within. It has to be within you. You have to start giving yourself the affirmations and doing the things, again, that you want someone to do for you. How can you ask somebody to love you the way you are and you don't love your damn self? There's nothing wrong with wearing lashes and makeup to enhance yourself at times. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to love the person outside of those lashes, outside of having your hair done and pressed and curled, or just pressed or perm. You have to love that person first to either really appreciate the other. I had to learn that. I had to learn that myself. I had to learn to say, Thea, girl, you never gonna have no big breasts. You can forget it. It's not so funny what you don't have, you always want. Oh yes, you remember? Yes, the movie title. Yes, she said it in here. Let me go to the comments. Okay, I can't see my comments, but yeah, I would like to see the comments. Something, it might have been something new. Yes, what's the night? Yes. Let's see. Thank you, Angela. And I appreciate you think that I look great. But I have to know that I look great, right? I have to feel that. I have to know that. Something new. Yes, that's the title. It took me years. It took me years to accept who I was. When I looked in the mirror and said, look, this is me. What you see is me. And part of me is my grandmother. It's my mother. It's my great-grandmother. It's my great-great-grandmother. This is me. With the gap, the big lips, this is me. And learn to really love who I was. And people, some women will say, men, it's them. No, it's not them, ladies. It's us. It's not them. I see men in love all the time with a woman that do not fit that Kim Kardashian crap, okay? It's not them. Would they like it? Of course. Who does not like a fat ass? I mean, let's just keep it real, right? I mean, even you'll look, be like, hey. Of course. But do he have to have it? No. In order for him to love us? No. Do I gotta wear this to know that I am conscious? Hell no. No. It's from within. Beauty lies from within. And it's in all of us. It's in all of us. If you are finding it hard to find, you look deep within yourself and you start pulling out things that you love, truly love. Not what society told you that you're supposed to love. Pulling out things that you truly love and you work on that. So that you can start really loving yourself. Listen, I love myself. That's not an arrogant thing to say. That is not a selfish thing to say. How can I not love myself and think I'm going to love someone else? But that took work. With society, grandparents, that took work. And we have to put that work in ourselves. I can work out all the time. I'm not going to have the biggest butt. I'm not going to have the smallest waist. Even in society, even when we're talking about our, and now it's more accepting to be more natural, right? To be more natural. Even now, people are doing things to be more natural instead of going through the process to be more natural. They're adorning themselves with all this jewelry, wearing the waistbands, right? Wearing the waistbands. Wearing all the charms and the bracelets, right? They doing that now. But not living it. And not going through the process. In order, those bands mean something on your arm and around your waist. These locks, this, we can, okay, together said we can only project what we think of ourselves outside of, absolutely. So when a woman tells me, I know I'm the baddest bitch, or I know I'm this, I'll look at you and say, no, you don't. No, you don't. I can just look at you. There's no judgment. But you're not telling me the truth. You might be trying to sell that to yourself, but you're not. You're not speaking the truth. So what is beauty? And I keep asking this question because I want you to really think deep about that. I gave you what could be beauty as far as your character, your ethics, all those different things. You can go to the Bible, read what they consider to be beauty. You can do those, but what is beauty to you? You hear my dog? I'll stay on that. Sorry, you ate. What is beauty to you? When you look up, you get up every rise and you go to that mirror. Do you see beauty in yourself? Do you see that honestly? Are you so judgmental of yourself? Like, damn, I need to do this or I need to do that. Do you see the beauty in yourself? Not just by the way you look, but from the inside. Because that's where it's going to start. If you're not loving it on the inside, as Together says, you're damn sure, not on the outside. That's just a facade, that's a cover up. The beauty is within. And it starts with love. It starts with love. Ashe, my aura is beautiful. Ashe. Ashe on that. When I look in the mirror, I don't see the things that's perceived to be not beautiful. I see the love that I show others. I see the love that I show my children. I see the nurturing I gave my children. I see the empathy that I show to my customers at work. I see protection I put on all my loved ones. I see the grass that I'm able to touch with my hands. This is what I see. I don't see and I love you. And I don't see what is considered not to be acceptable. I don't see this either. None of this. When I look in the mirror, early rise, this is what I see. I see the love I share with my husband and the laughters and our sacrifices. This is what I see. I see my elders and the sacrifices they made for me. This is what I see when I look in the mirror. I see that beauty. That's the beauty I see. Ain't about my waist, my butt. Hell, it ain't about no degree I have. It's about the works, the love. That's what it's about. That love for yourself that radiates to others. That peace within yourself. And all that has to be, I say we talk. You have to work on that. It's something we still work on it every day, right? We get taught shit all the time. You cannot go scroll on your page without seeing or somebody telling you that you're not. But isn't that what they really doing? Even some of our so-called conscious and spiritual women, you know, their bodies are beautifully shaped. No stretch marks, no fupa. And they're adorning themselves with all this beauty, jewelry, right? You're like, damn, I would like to do that because I feel that. But damn, I got stretch marks. My belly ain't flat like hers. And I'm like, damn. Again, programming. So it's something we have to work on every day. You got to love yourself every day. Find that beauty. If that beauty is in you writing, if that beauty is in you fixing yourself healthy foods, if that beauty is in you reading a book to expand your mind, to extend your vocabulary, then you do it. You find that beauty within yourself. If it's meditating, damn it if it's hugging a tree. If it's doing something for someone else, thank you. The beauty is within, absolutely. If that is all help you to feel that love for yourself, so you can see the beauty in yourself. I know, like I said, I know a lot of times, man, that shit got knocked out of you. You wasn't like that when you came out of the womb. No. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. So, oh, yeah, actually, the beauty is within. Yes, it is. And it's about time that we really know that. It's about time that we really know that. The beauty is within. And that sounds so cliche when we say it, right? That's why you have to really dig deep within yourself. You have to really dig deep within yourself. Shut out all of that nonsense that's going in your ears. Close your eyes to all that bullshit you see on the TikToks and Instagrams. That's not you. So I appreciate you guys for this talk tonight, because like all my talks, they hit home, you know? They really hit home. And something that we work on every day ourselves. Okay. So I thank you guys. I really do. Read some of the comments. I love you. I love all you. I love everyone here on this podcast. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Hmm. Thank you. So yeah, I'm going to end my broadcast tonight with my tea, and I just want to thank you all for joining me. It's been great. The topic, the conversation, but I really want you guys to I really want all of you to look within yourself and find that beauty because it's there. Thank you, Angela. It is there. Don't look for it on the outside. Don't look for it in the magazines and the television and the videos. You're not going to find it there. You're not going to find yourself there. Thank you all. I love you. Home.